So how do I say chat? Am I live? Okay, so I'm live, I presume. I presume. I'm just gonna wait for some people maybe to show up. And I just want to make it known about what's going on regarding a bill that is being passed in the UK regarding hey Peter, hey there you are, regarding being able to protest, being able to have a voice, and this is happening all over, and it is very insidious right now. They've gotten the grip with all of their games and the plans thus far, creating riots. You just got to. I've just gone live, Peter, just out of the blue, because I saw something and it just really knocked me, and I've got some time before a meeting, and so to talk about this bill a bit, I'm going to hold on. I'm going to find this part and be able to share with you the UK anti because it goes against everything that we've had you know, previously, or we've been told we've previously got. So let's have a look at this. So I'm going to share the screen. Share the screen, see if it lets me read it all, but we'll see. So, hey Danny B, hey I of the Maelstrom, I think. I haven't probably said that right. Thank you for being here. So I'm going to share the screen with you guys and talk about this, and then show you some things regarding it that is going on right now. So we've got the Guardian newspaper over here, and it talks about the anti-protest bill raises profound concern and alarm, human rights groups say. And so you see the police officers there, and more than 150 organisations have warned ministers that a new law handing police tougher powers to crack down on protesters would be, quote, an attack on some of the most fundamental rights of citizens, end quote, as Labour vowed to oppose it, and officers handling of a vigil of poor Sarah Everard, who was murdered by a police officer, continued to draw criticism. The groups, including human rights charities, unions and faith communities, said on Sunday the wide-ranging legislation would have hugely detrimental effects on civil liberties, and called for government to, quote, fundamentally rethink its approach. In a letter to the Home Secretary, Priti Patel, not so pretty at all, the Justice Secretary Robert Buckland, seen by The Guardian, they claim the 307-page police crime and sentencing bill being debated on Monday and Tuesday before a vote is being rushed through Parliament before people, quote, have been able to fully understand its profound implications. Some of the new police powers are draconian, they say, cautioning that the new law would also increase penalties for those breaching police conditions on protests and the ease with which they can be found to have done so. They said it raised profound concern and alarm, and would also threaten access to the countryside and criminalise gypsy and traveller communities, adding that legislation is being, quote, driven through at a time and in a way where those who will be subject to its provisions are least able to respond, end quote. Signatories of the letter include Liberty, Big Brother Watch, Unite, and the Violence Against Women Coalition, Unlock Democracy, KFOD, and Extinction Rebellion local groups. The letter confirms that the Labour leader, Sir Keir Starmer, made a significant intervention on Sunday, telling his MPs to vote against the bill. Sources said it was a switch in tactics from the previous plan to abstain. He said the bill contained, quote, next to nothing, end quote, on countering violence against women and girls after complaints that police at a vigil for Sarah Everard, in South London on Saturday were too heavy-handed, and of course they are. Starmer lamented that the legislation said lots of stuff on statues. New offences are being created for those who destroy or damage memorial, and called it a missed opportunity for the government. Missed opportunity. The Conservatives hit back with party's co-chair Amanda Milling, claiming that the vote against the bill would block, quote, tougher new laws to keep people safe, including many vital measures to protect women from violent criminals, end quote, and, quote, tougher sentences for child murderers and sex offenders, end quote. Then why aren't they arresting half of Parliament and half of the royal family for such acts? We wonder. In a sign of growing anger, Jess Phillips called Milling's response, quote, a disgusting and untrue statement. The Conservative government's bill does absolutely nothing currently to increase sentences for rapists, stalkers, and those who batter, control, and abuse women, end quote. The shadow domestic violence minister said, quote, it does nothing about the harassment and assaults. The bill is full of divisive nonsense, like locking up those who damage statues for longer than those who attack women, end quote. Some Tory MPs have serious reservations about the bill, which they plan to raise in the debate this week, or so we feel also safe now because they're going to raise the alarm. The Guardian understands, but there is unlikely to be a substantial enough rebellion to bring a defeat for the government. One Tory backbencher said the legislation was necessary as it had been drawn up in response to protests by Extinction Rebellion and covered many areas, from child sexual abuse offences, why aren't they locking up half of Parliament, to ensuring that vehicles could enter and leave the parliamentary estate, or because we've got to keep those politicians feeling real safe because their salaries have only gone up. They've just gained in more power. They've just made more strength in friendships with corporations. You know, we really do have to keep them safe and maintain their sense of safety. Yeah, that's top priority. The part of the bill that has caused opponents most concern will give the Home Secretary powers to create laws to define serious, quote, disruption, end quote, to communities and organisations, which police can then rely on to impose conditions on protests. The Home Office said it was needed to counter, quote, highly disruptive attacks used by some protesters, end quote, that, quote, cause a disproportionate impact on the surrounding communities, end quote. So it's not that we've had to lock up shops and lose jobs and people haven't got the money to survive. It's not that homeless people have had no kind of support from passers-by because that's all been locked down. Yet that hasn't caused an impact at all. It's those who are raising the alarm on such things that is causing the impact. And said Extinction Rebellion's, quote, April uprising cost the Metropolitan Police more than 16 million. Yeah, right, it did. Of course it did. Give us the numbers, give us that, you know, dilute all of those little numbers that you got to that 16 million. It denied that freedom of expression would be undermined by the bill, saying, quote, the majority of protests in England and Wales are lawful and will be unaffected by these changes, which is an out-and-out direct lie. When you look at the bill, it will affect every kind of measure like this. They're talking about 3 people being together in one place could be seen by the police and deemed legally by the police as some kind of protest and uprising. So enough about that. It's you know, nonsense. let's see, where am I? There we are. So what's going on? Hey, big bro. Hey, big bro, just woke up. Good day to you. Yeah, so now, what do you say, Danny? So now if you even look at the police wrong, you will get arrested. Quite right, Danny. That's absolutely where I'm going with this. It's, you know, and this whole thing about the blue line, at the end of the day, there are some good officers, there are some good people in all of the systems that are built, but the system of policing has been, particularly in the UK, is draconian. They do have far too many rights, and it does attract a caliber of person in the numbers who want to impose their power over others, who want to feel big and powerful and do so and get away with it. In many cases. So I'm just going to, where do I need to go for this? Let's see. So BitChute, I'm going to find on BitChute, because now I'm on a different page. I don't know how I'll keep up to see you guys. I'm going to show you some of the videos that have been going on in the London protest. Let's see if I can find it here. Okay, London protest. 1 second. Sorry, I had it ready on the other page, but I don't know how to get to that and still be able to. Okay, so they're all old. That's useless to me. That's absolutely useless. So let's see. I'm going to go on here or here. So, okay, we'll go on this one first. So we'll show share page, share screen. So this is just a quick video. There was tens of thousands in London, UK yesterday that gathered to protest because it's getting beyond a joke. People need to be able to just open up their shops and see what's going on with these rules and these draconian rules. So it gets to the point where you see these police lining up here, you know, being very, they're not doing much in this video, but being very much oppressive, very much bullying and gangster-like. And so we go to, let's pause that one, and we go to this one here, and you see on the same day, like the video, because it's, I do a bit to share videos. So this is the Dutch police, and this is anti-lockdown protesters. This guy's doing nothing. How come if people were dressed in suits on New York Street and they were doing this, there would be gangsters taking over, you know, doing something terrible, but police do it, and it's okay. So you see this man being beaten, and fair warning, this is really shocking and upsetting. The dog already has him under control if he was doing anything wrong in the first place to deserve that, and it doesn't seem to have done so. They continue beating this man until he is still completely. Now, this man isn't resisting arrest. The only reason he's moving is to protect his head and what limbs he can protect from the dog. But they want, if they stop beating him, he would very much be still, I'm sure, at this point. But they beat him to the point until he's still. These two bully boys here. How is this right? Who the hell are they? At this point, you know, fuck any blue line. At this point, you know, it's a case of, if you're going to be part of that, if you're going to watch what the governments are doing and using you as the bully boys to do so, you know, at this point, you should seriously question, you know, the bigger picture and whether you want to be doing this. Look at this guy prodding this woman. He protects her and it gets a boot in the kidneys. It's a disgrace. They're just running people over. That happens a few times. Look, do they look like police, or do they just look like bullies running out of a van to attack people, running another one over to attack people, and they're in plain clothes too? So again, that would show disruption, and they could very easily look like part of the crowd on certain newspapers, couldn't they, the next day? It's not as if newspapers haven't done that as well. So they're just running the horses, corralling the people, running straight through them, basically. It gets really shocking in that one video, I don't know if it's following this one or not, but one video actually shows veterans lining up and holding the salute, facing the police officers, doing nothing but just holding the line, holding the, being the brave souls that they are, seeing that, you know, it's time to not do what governments say. And you can see here the horses, look, they're just running into, they're just directing those poor horses to run into the crowd. So does this look anything else than, you know, the kind of things we would, these are the veterans. So they water hose these veterans. They're standing just holding a salute, protecting the people behind them. And they use a water cannon on these veterans. You don't know that some of these veterans might have been waterboarded or have seen the effects of such, and they're holding a line, they're holding the salute, holding eye contact, and they use a water hose on them that hurts. And they're still being so brave to hold the line. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely, people need to wake up, and they need to wake up real fast. And many of these people are, but the people who are calling them, that I've seen online, unbelievably today, that I've seen online, I don't think I want to play the next video. I don't know if I do or not. No, I don't. How ridiculous. Yeah, so I'll get the chat back up 1 second. No, it won't. Where's it gone? Where are you gone? Where are you all? There you are. Hey, Coyote, much favor to you. Hey, Jules, yeah, crazy times. Bristol, yeah, Bristol, I mean, the way that they were attacking people in Bristol, it's just, hey Susie, hey my sister, it's disgusting. And there was definitely people that were taking their own back on these officers that over this time have been beating people up. And in the UK, people are overwrought with the police officers, and they're very rough handling of a very emotional, but you know, pleasant, for what it was for, but to vigil to mark the death of a very beautiful lady in the UK who had been terribly murdered, terribly treated after her death by a police officer. And they're talking very little about the why they did that, why that this person did that, and then they're acting on this. And this is the result of doing as they've been saying, telling us to do. Hey Joyce, hey beautiful, hey Gaia, doing as we've been told to do thus far. This is where it's gotten them in the UK. They've been sneaking these bills in. I've kept talking about it. They've been sneaking these laws in to take away more and more rights. They've been conditioning us to not be individuals within groups of people, but conditioning us to just act without thinking, act without our own independent thought, muzzling our faces, even though all evidence would say it doesn't do what they're saying it does. You know, even out of their own mouths, on and off. Hey sister, hey Michael, hey brother. It doesn't do, it's cognitive dissonance, yet people are using that mark, wearing it, you know, they're telling people they can't open their businesses, and this is where it's gotten, and it's going to get a lot worse. We've gotten to a point where, because of the police force literally almost taking glee in great numbers, and I'm not calling every officer, as we'll find good officers in each force, of course, but predominantly we're seeing that it is a branch of the system that is quite willing to go against its fellow man, that is quite willing to water cannon veterans that are holding the salute and holding the line to them. This is where we're seeing that actually all of this psyop about the blue line and getting good officers to come and speak, it's all PR. When the shit hits the fan, this is where we see that there are lots of these officers around the world that are quite willing and quite happy to impose this draconian law, draconian abuse, and belittle and maim and hurt the people that they're supposed to serve. They very much are not serving the people, they very much are serving the government. So I just wanted to hop on live because I didn't want it to take time to upload and whatnot, to just show you some of the things, some of the sites that have come out in the UK, with the Dutch police and how they've been treating their people, and hopefully get to see, you know, exactly what is going on, exactly how people are being treated. So we can expect this to get worse, you know. There's a lot we can do in spirituality. There's a lot we can do in the actions we can take for ourselves each day to show an independence, to, you know, move further and further away from this horrible system that has created all of these baby systems, where these people sit in power, get paid plenty, and create a real gap, and are enjoying it between themselves and the people that they're supposed to serve. It's time for us to see the truth, that these people do not serve us, and within these systems they can do very little to serve us, even if they did have some kind of bolt of consciousness. It's up to us to share the truth, use what they put before us as a weapon, use it as our sword of truth. Share these videos, look them up and share them, speak about them, write in now, even if you're not affected by these things going on near you. Start writing in now to your MPs, to your ministers, to in America, my brothers and sisters over there, to your senators, to your mayors, to your what do you call them, police chiefs, what do you call them? Oh, what do you call them? Like cowboys, not cowboys. The head of the police in the more rural areas. So yeah, start making a noise about that and be really clever about it. I do chalking. I'm going to take some videos of the chalking. I need to get to 1,000 subscribers so I can use the phone when I'm out and about to go live and show you more of what I do. But chalking, I hand out pieces of chalk to random people, and I write down positive messages, or I write down truthful messages with chalk. I can't get arrested because the rain will wipe it away, but maybe under these new laws, maybe I could get arrested for doing so. But, you know, one, it's just uplifting. People expect to maybe see something derogatory with graffiti. So I write, you are beautiful, or you can do this today. It's a sheriff. Thank you, big brother. Thank you, Peter, brother. If it's a sheriff, yeah. Sheriff, right? These sheriffs, there's a lot of them are open. A lot of them are a bit closer to the people, I feel, than the ones above them. And so, yeah, I chalk, and I'll chalk out, you know, what they're doing to people, and I'll chalk out positive messages too. Be very creative about how you share your information. You know, take pictures of the letter that you send in, and then make that go viral. Let people know what you're doing and how you're wording it, and then send it off. You know, it's just. But I'm saying all of that, and that makes a huge difference. It does. But the way that things are going, and the way that serial chalker I am, I'm like locked and loaded with chalk. That's funny. But yeah, it's weird that a lot of people will smile to me and say, because I've given them a bit of chalk randomly in the past and I'll have forgotten, but they remember and quite a few people actually, even some big bulky men, have enjoyed being a fellow chalker. And so that's been a good thing. It does spread, and it's a creative way. I think the kids enjoy doing it with me too. I've got to try and incorporate as much as I can that's kid friendly, that I want to do as a bit of an antagonist. You know, I want to do things like this to shake it up a bit. I've got to try and make it kid friendly. So serial chalking is kid friendly. And I can do it with the boys and with Abby and stuff, or Abby can do it with the boys whenever, because it's, you know, what's the harm? Kids are chalking. Everybody's done it, you know. So what you're saying, Danny, our sheriff said he's on the people's side. He said he would stand with us if anything happened. That's really good, and that's what you need to know. Where again they're using their ways of showing people who they are, getting to feel who's going to stand against them, where their numbers are. By doing that, by you reaching out some way, or somebody you know reaching out some way for that sheriff to make that public statement, it allows us to single out who is on the side of the betterment of people, on the protection of people. It allows us to know each other. It allows us to be able to do the same thing, but with good intent behind it. So that's great for that sheriff to do so, and I feel there'll be a lot more sheriffs that do that. There's just a feel to them. I think I'm right that a lot of them are closer to the people. A lot of them are living in the area and have family in the area that would be affected by such changes. We don't have that so much in the UK. The police force is very much a servant of the beings, to be friendly in Parliament, and is showing itself for the bullying institute that it is, for the attack dog institute that it is, with totally, and it's totally unnecessary. So I just wanted to share that. Please make a noise. Please, by us being inactive or not meeting force with force, we're getting ourselves to this position where we're going to see this more and more. We're getting to a point then when we're going to have to fight to dig out of the tunnel. Peter, difference is sheriffs are elected, cops are hired. That's the thing, you see. All of our police our cops they're on a payroll. It's not a huge payroll, but they're on a payroll, and they are hired. So that we do see that a huge number of them in our police force suit the narrative. They meet the needs of the system of the police force, i.e. they are quite happy to have obese egos that want to be fed by having power over other people that they deem lesser than, or, you know, people who are on the outside big and brash and bully-like, but on the inside have an itty-bitty self-esteem, and so they want to, you know, impose themselves on anybody else who might have some kind of individuality to them. So yeah, you have a beautiful day too, Danny. So I'm going to go. Does anybody want to ask anything before I go? I just wanted to put this up here and, you know, inspire people to do something, even if it is just spreading the word, sharing what's going on, so that people are ready, so that people are ready to either avoid it or be part of it, whatever, you know, whatever takes your fancy, but do something. Please do something. So if anybody of you got anything you want to say or questions before I go, I appreciate you all being here. You know, all of these names, just love to all of you. You have an awesome day too, sister. You know, you're amazing people, the things that you come out with, and because you even give me the privilege of sharing them on my platform, opening up that dialogue, sorry, the dog's crying, opening up that dialogue and opening up that different perspective to other people is so powerful. And I love the fact that you do that on my platform too, where I can be a part of that. So Gaia, amazing day to you. Wendy Johnson, welcome. Bosto to you, be of service to others. Yep, with the wisdom of knowing where to direct that service. Much love to you, Susie Q, sister. Peter, not the only little thing they have. You know how I work so well, brother, because that's exactly where I was going. They want to have to cover that up, kind of thing, with the over estimation of the power that they have. Common law being reinstated is the only way out, sister. Yes, Peter, and I will get up this bill properly in that. It directly attacks many aspects of common law, which that's another reason that they're doing it. They're doing it under the guise of, so cleverly and so synchronistically after the discovery of the death of the beautiful Sarah Everard that was murdered by a police officer recently here. They're doing it under the guise of that, but actually, like everything, they're doing it to be of all love and light. They're doing it to be so caring. It actually directly attacks many of the things that have very little to do with it, but this it directly attacks a lot of aspects of common law, which would be devastating and another big win for them. Have a lovely day, big brother. I love you. Thomas, hi. Strong moments ahead, very strong. Yeah, Thomas, we need to get ready. We need to be ready. We do. Coyote, you are awesome. Truth Seeker, hi Truth Seeker. So I'm just about to go, Truth Seeker. So you just catch up when you can. I just shared some videos of some of the protests going on and some of the terrible actions of police in the UK and Dutch police being just disgusting. So you can catch up with that anytime. Stay safe on the road, have fun, go fast. I love a bit of fast driving, but obviously stay safe if you're on the road. So I love you all, appreciate you all, giving you such intent to reach your highest potentials today. What you put your mind to, you achieve, and just bang on with it. Get don't know how long, but hang around for Jennifer. Oh, I love you, big brother. Jules, much love to you. One day at a time. Yes. Oh, Susie Q, my sister. No fear, no fear. That is exactly what they would want to cattle us into, and where we are. There is no fear. It is what it is. We're ready for what we're ready for. I love you all. Danny, much love to you. So I'm gonna go. Wish me good intent for this meeting. I'm really excited, and I'll give an update to that in the next video. I appreciate everybody. Leslie, wow. Oh, Leslie, I'm just about to go on your pop-up, but good day to you too. You got to catch a live, yes, because I don't get to do it often. So just catch up, Leslie. Unfortunately, it's not unfortunately, sister, it's not the best content. It's not what I would love to be sharing right now. It's about the police and the brutality and a very sneaky bill that the UK is trying to sneak in past the people that really does attack the freedoms of the people. It really does. So just have a quick look at some of the videos I shared. Obviously, there's much more out there. But I love you being here. Thank you. So much love. Stay balanced and stay whole. Mwah, mwah, mwah.